Cause my homie ain't smiled in 10 years, man.
A lot of wounds are being closed and aided at the point, at this point. And the wounds are being nurtured as well and closed up for good, you know? So I think for me, this is my chapter of healing.
Iman Shumpert is struggling to cope with Tiana moving on with actor Aaron Pierre. Ever since they became public as Hollywood's hottest new couple, Iman has been losing it in a big way, and it's not in a good sense. If you missed the drama surrounding Iman and Tiana's split in 2023, here's a quick recap. It was a mess. Their divorce was a total fiasco. Iman played dirty, attempting to take full custody of their children and even demanded that every gift he gave her be returned. On top of that, he was involved with numerous women, so many that we lost count. Now, Tiana is thriving, stepping out with her new partner, Aaron Pierre, and guess who's bitter? You got it, Iman. Word is, he's trying to take custody of their kids again, just to hurt her and get back at her. This whole situation is just pure drama.
Alright, Joe. Hey, pick y'all baby mama wisely, cause my homie ain't smiled in 10 years, man.
Teyana Taylor filed for divorce in 2023, and initially she tried to keep things dignified, suggesting that they were just two people who had grown apart. However, that didn't last long. Once they hit the courtroom, everything went south. Every shady move imaginable unfolded, and most of the blame seemed to fall squarely on Iman. He quickly flipped the script and tried to paint Tiana as the villain. His first petty move? Asking the court to force Tiana to return every gift he had ever given her during their 10-year relationship, including jewelry and even an entire condo. Talk about taking petty to the next level. But demanding his gifts back wasn't enough. Iman took it a step further by attempting to claim royalties from Tiana's music, particularly from projects she released before they even got together. Divorce settlements typically cover assets earned during the marriage, but Iman actually thought he deserved a cut from Tiana's pre-relationship earnings. It was giving major broke vibes. As if things weren't messy enough, Iman then went back to court, trying to lower his child support payments. At the time, he was already paying $8,000 a month for their two daughters, Rue and Junie, around $4,000 per child. That may sound like a lot to most people, but for a celebrity, it was on the lower end. Still, Iman had the nerve to ask the judge to reduce it further. Luckily, Tiana wasn't caught off guard. Her legal team came prepared, bringing receipts that showed Iman was spending far more than $8,000 a month on himself without hesitation. They exposed his lavish lifestyle, showing that while he was crying broke, he was living large, spending outrageous amounts on himself. Iman had argued that Tiana was making significantly more than he was, claiming she made $47,118 per month, compared to his $88,000. He argued that paying $88,000 in child support was excessive, but Tiana's lawyers weren't buying it. They presented evidence of Iman's extravagant spending, including $10,500 a month on lunches alone, and an additional $119,000 a month on traveling between South Atlanta and Alpharetta for work. Talk about a luxury commute. Things took an even darker turn when Tiana accused Iman of disrespecting her by cheating on her repeatedly, even while she was pregnant. To make matters worse, she claimed that he went so far as to send pictures of himself holding their 2-month-old baby to women he was suspected of cheating with. It was beyond outrageous. Iman also tried to claim that Tiana had been unfaithful, but she shut down that accusation quickly. She wasn't letting him twist the truth, especially since his cheating scandals were well known by this point. At this stage, Iman's infidelity was practically public knowledge. It was like he had a second job in drama. The situation escalated even further when rumors spread that Tiana and Iman were involved in a 3-way relationship with another woman. Given that Tiana had always been open about occasionally bringing someone else into their private life, it wasn't totally surprising, but it certainly got people talking.
Even just when everybody heard that, like, me and my husband had threesomes before, it was like, oh, she's willing to do that to keep a man. I'm like,
nah.
That was all me.
However, the internet took things to a whole new level. People started running wild, spreading all sorts of outrageous theories after Tiana briefly disappeared from social media. Some speculated that Tiana was upset over the supposed 3-way relationship getting out of hand. But Tiana wasn't having it. She swiftly returned to social media to shut down the rumors, posting, "I've never seen or touched that girl in my life." She made it clear that everyone was far too involved in her personal life and had completely twisted the story. Despite her efforts, the cheating rumors kept circulating. At one point, it seemed like Tiana was more of a side chick in her own marriage, as Iman was entertaining half of Atlanta as if it were his full-time job. Then, in 2023, things got even messier when a TikTok user stirred the pot by acting out a dramatic scenario she claimed to have heard from one of Tiana's assistants. The drama just wouldn't stop. Without naming anyone directly, the TikToker described a famous singer whose husband was a former NBA player and a known serial cheater. According to the viral story, his constant infidelity allegedly broke his wife's heart so badly that she ended up hospitalized from the heartbreak. It didn't take long for the internet to put two and two together, immediately focusing on Tiana and Iman.
Like, my healing chapter,
I was really excited about that.
a lot of wounds are being closed and aided at this point, and the wounds are being nurtured as well and closed up for good, you know. So I think for me, this is my chapter of healing.
The TikToker added another shocking twist, claiming that the real reason this mystery woman ended up in the hospital was due to excessive partying. Allegedly, she overdosed on nose candy and had to cancel a scheduled performance. Although the TikToker never directly named Teyana or Iman, fans quickly connected the dots. Just a few months before this video surfaced, Teyana had posted a photo from a hospital bed, revealing that she had to cancel a show. She explained that after giving her all on stage for a month straight, her body simply shut down, leaving her devastated. She wrote that despite her team's efforts to get her on stage, her body betrayed her at the last moment. It's not uncommon for artists to push themselves to the limit and suffer from exhaustion, especially while touring, so at first, fans accepted Teyana's explanation. However, once the TikTok video went viral, speculation grew rapidly. People started to believe that her health scare was actually linked to Iman's alleged infidelity. Teyana wasn't about to let the rumors go unchecked. She immediately responded on Instagram, shutting down the claims. She called out both the person who originally spread the story and the one who reenacted it, warning them to have their court money ready. She demanded proof, asking where the receipts were, and made it clear that no one, absolutely no one, could ever force her into an overdose. She even joked that if Iman ever pushed her to that point, she would personally dress him in a nice suit and bury him herself before letting him or anyone else take her down. That being said, no one is claiming Teyana was perfect or never made mistakes. But if there's one thing everyone can agree on, it's that she always went out of her way to protect Iman, their relationship, and especially their children. She constantly shut down rumors, defended him at every turn, and worked hard to keep their private matters out of the public eye.
I think that's the mix-up. You know what I'm saying? People hear it and think that is like a thing where it's like every day we just take him down. Like that's not that. It just be those times where like we just like if we on vacation, like our anniversary, like you know what I'm saying? Like it's just.
Despite all her efforts to keep things private, Tiana's personal life exploded in her face. Last year, another alleged side chick surfaced, and she didn't come empty-handed. She released a video so clear that there was no denying Iman's voice. But that wasn't enough for her. She went further by posting a photo of herself confidently wearing Iman's personal chain, making it painfully obvious that they had been involved behind Tiana's back. Even with this undeniable evidence, Tiana still rushed to defend him, quickly jumping on social media to explain, "The reason I'm sharing this is because the narrative is getting out of control, and it's unfair to all the parties involved. I hope this clears things up for everyone." However, with evidence like that, there was no way Iman could talk his way out of it. Instead of owning up to his mistakes, he flipped the narrative, trying to paint Tiana as the aggressor. He claimed that she would physically lash out at him whenever she got upset, even recounting an alleged incident where he said, "I was downstairs with my headphones on, playing my PlayStation, and she started hitting me." Iman tried to portray her as the one who became physical during their arguments, which was truly audacious. Tiana responded by accusing Iman of being jealous of her fame and feeling insecure about not measuring up to her, despite making far more money from basketball than she could ever dream of earning in music. She claimed his envy over her spotlight was so intense that it led him to create unnecessary drama, picking fights, even on her birthday, and then apologizing afterward. It felt like a mix of insecurity and narcissism. Tiana eventually opened up about the sacrifices she made to maintain peace in their household. She revealed that she scaled back on her career to create stability for the family, hoping it would ease the tension at home. But that came with a hefty price. Fewer projects meant a hit to her income. Iman then turned on her, criticizing her for not making enough money after all the emotional support she had given him. She ended up being dragged for supposedly not pulling her financial weight, leaving her in a no-win situation. Still, Tiana wasn't done. She accused Iman of jealousy and insecurity, despite his wealth from basketball. She said she did everything in her power to hold things down, only to face more cruelty and selfishness from him. At one point, Tiana secretly filed for divorce, but Iman begged her to reconcile. When she agreed, he quickly became inconsistent and lazy, getting caught up in another cheating scandal which left her embarrassed all over again. Tiana admitted that she called off the divorce, hoping they could work things out, but his insecurities only worsened as his NBA career declined, leading to even more drama. He couldn't handle seeing her succeed. In her court documents, Tiana revealed the extent of the chaos, saying Iman was constantly stirring drama and making her life a nightmare. Eventually, she'd had enough and officially filed for divorce, realizing that things would never improve. We could spend hours going over how Iman kept pushing Tiana's buttons and making her life harder than it needed to be, but we already know the story. The divorce was finalized, and both of them began moving on. Iman was spotted with multiple women, though it wasn't clear if any of those relationships were serious. Meanwhile, Tiana made a major upgrade, stepping out publicly with actor Aaron Pierre. These two weren't hiding anything. They were openly flaunting their relationship, quickly becoming Hollywood's new power couple. They first appeared together at the 15% Pledge event and soon after at another event, showing off their new romance like it was a red carpet affair. Let's talk about that hug. You know the one, the embrace that had everyone talking. It wasn't just a casual hug. It was a full embrace with chemistry and undeniable connection. If anyone still had doubts about their relationship, that hug made it clear. Fans are loving Tiana and Aaron's new romance, but of course her salty ex Iman can't stand it. The jealousy is real, and reports say he's even plotting to take the kids from Tiana out of spite. But let's be real, that's wild, especially since Tiana has accused Iman of being an absentee father. She publicly called him out for neglecting their two daughters, claiming he once had them dropped off unaccompanied at an arena in an unfamiliar city while he enjoyed the luxury of a private driver. It's beyond irresponsible, and no wonder she called him out for being absent as a father. Imagine leaving two young children under the age of 8 alone in an arena in a city they don't know. It's honestly outrageous. But despite all the drama, fans are fully behind Tiana and Aaron. Aaron, aka Mr. Mufasa, looks great with Tiana, and people are here for their chemistry. Meanwhile, Iman is clearly struggling to move on, but Tiana is thriving with her new man. What do you think? Are people just mad about it, or is it the real deal? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I'll see you in the next video.